is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southeast.
It's another hot, muggy night in Atlanta, Georgia, and tonight it's Game 2 between the Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates. One of the Buccos' hometown heroes played big last night, and Matt Kemp made his Atlanta debut. Hopefully, things will turn out better for the Braves tonight. Hi again, friends. With Joe, with Tom, I'm Chip. It is Game 2 of the series, and Tommy, a very special day. A young man makes his Major League debut. Rob Whalen is the 13th different man to start a game for the Braves starting tonight.
Yeah, certainly a big night for him, an exciting night for him and his family. 22 years old, making his Major League debut here tonight, so it should be an exciting time, and look for him to go out there, trying to throw strikes, get things under control. Right-hander, 22 years old, as I said, acquired in the John Gant trade with the Mets. Good numbers in his minor league career, 66 games, 2.45 ERA. This season between AAA and AA, 18 games, 2.49 ERA. So big night for him. Look for him to calm the nerves and get out there and have a good one.
Joe, this Braves rotation is supposed to be the strong point for the Braves foundation going forward, but quite frankly, there have been some bumps along the road. There have been some injuries, but quite frankly, ineffectiveness has plagued the starting five of late.
Injuries have been a big part of it, but guys, when you think about the starting rotation, granted, there have been times where they've had very poor run support, but the rotation has really stubbed its toe. And I think in the last 2 months of the season, for some of these young pitchers, it's time for these guys to start taking a step forward and show that they can pitch at this level. Since the break, a 5.5 ERA, and on the season, the starting rotation, 21-47 with a 4.5 ERA. You take Julio Teheran's ERA out of that mix, and the ERA is a combined over 5.0. So when we talk about the lack of offense, the starting rotation has not lived up to par so far this year. Let's see if they can pick up the pace a little bit here in the last 2 months.
Rob Whalen gets the ball for the Braves. Jeff Locke gets the ball for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And when we come back, we'll update what's suddenly become a very crowded Atlanta outfield situation. Kelsey Wingert will get us caught up on that as we return to Turner Field right after this.
is sponsored by Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Game 2 of the Pirates versus the Braves. The Braves trying to get Rob Whalen a win in his MLB debut and to even the series. The Braves have a blessing and a curse of a crowded outfield now with Matt Kemp here. You have 4 guys you would like to see get in there every day. That doesn't even include Malik Smith, who's hurt, and that leads us to our Zaxby's indescribably good play. Your current options in the outfield: Matt Kemp. The Braves are very excited to be able to pencil that new name into the lineup. Ender Inciarte and Nick Markakis, who have really been the constants in the outfield so far this year. And of course, Jeff Francoeur, who has been the veteran they hoped they would get. And Frenchie knows the Kemp trade will affect his playing time a little bit, but he is on board and knows his role.
Everything works itself out, and I've talked to Snit, and he's going to get me in there some in center too. I think I know over some of these lefties for a while. Maybe a Pat Burrell play 6 innings and bring Ender in, but it's one of those things that you never can have enough good players on a team in offense. And like I said, I know I've done my job hitting lefties this year, and that's something that's what I was brought here to do. Between that and do that, so as long as I'll get some opportunities to get my spot starts and do that, and then come off the bench and get some big hits.
Another starting pitcher and another MLB debut. Rob Whalen taking the mound for his MLB debut for your Atlanta Braves. Chip, Joe, and Tom take it back with first pitch and starting lineups next.
Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Well, there's only one man in this booth that knows what Rob Whalen's going to feel in about 5 seconds when he crosses the white lines and heads to the pitcher's mound for the first time in the big leagues. Tom Glavine, what was that like?
A combination of excitement and sheer panic. You hope the excitement takes over from the panic.
Well, Rob Whalen is very excited. He's the 13th different man to start a game for the Braves this year. Atlanta got him from the Mets in the Uribe Kelly Johnson deal last summer.
Combined 7 and 6 this year in 21 games in the minor leagues, but overall in his career pitched really well. 66 games, 62 starts, 24-17 record, real good ERA. A lot of innings pitched, good walk to strikeouts, and does not allow many home runs at all.
For Mr. Whalen, his 4 keys to pitching success on the heels of what Mr. Glavine just said. It's 60 feet 6 inches from the pitcher's mound to home plate. Takes 3 strikes to strike out a hitter. Takes 4 balls to walk one. It's the same game, different uniforms, different guys that you've never faced before. Perhaps maybe he's faced Frazier in the minor leagues. I don't know. But try to relax and realize, at least after the first pitch, it's baseball.
Where's Gene Hackman in the measuring tape?
Yes.
Well, and that too, you know, that's the other thing. Everybody will tell you when you get here, particularly as a pitcher, hey, keep doing the things you did to get here. It's hard to trust that initially.
Well, Mr. Frazier out of Athens, Georgia, had himself a terrific game last night. A couple of hits, a couple of RBIs. He has lots of friends and family at the ballpark tonight. Gong, Marte, and Joyce, the middle of the order. David Freese in there as well for Clint Hurdle. We found out before the game that we will not see Andrew McCutchen at all in this series. The Pirates are giving him 4 full days of rest to try to get back on track because McCutchen's having a very rough year. And quite frankly, the Pirates said, we've tried everything else to get you going. Maybe this is what you need.
Take a look at this, guys. Just before he went out to the mound, he was talking to Kevin Seitzer. We may need to wait till after the first pitch because I want to see his first pitch. But deep breathing in the dugout before he went to the mound. Ready to go.
And Frazier digs in. And his first big league pitch is a strike. And off we go. 87 degrees and very humid tonight. Wind blowing in toward the Braves dugout. As Adam Frazier leads off for the Pirates. And takes inside.
Sinker, slider, curveball, changeup. And as Tom said, very good command. Keeps the ball down. Pitches to contact.
Seven starts for Adam Frazier with the Pirates. 6 doubles, a triple, a homer, 4 RBIs, and 3 runs. And he's in there for Josh Harrison, who's been banged up. And he unloads deep toward right center. Markakis on a flat out sprint. Still going. Is going to get there with a basket catch on the warning track.
Stayed in the ballpark.
Yes, it did.
First out. Got away with a pitch. And as you said, Tom, he doesn't give up many homers. He might have been worried about that one for a moment. Nice play by Nick.
So he's got his first out. And here's Gregory Polanco, the Pirates right fielder. He was hitless last night. 15 homers, 56 knocked in for the season. And that's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. These are very important games for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Buccos entered play today 2.5 games behind the Marlins for the final wild card spot. Sharply hit and past Beckham. And Gregory Polanco has the first hit of the game for the Pirates. A clean 1-out single. And here's a look at the defense behind Rob Whalen tonight. Let's start in the outfield. You saw a fine catch by Markakis. INCIARTE joins him in center. Matt Kemp makes his second start in left. Garcia, Ibar, Beckham, and Freeman around the horn. Anthony Recker is the man in harness behind the plate. Here's Jung Ho Gong, the Pirates' third baseman. He knocked in a run yesterday and has 7 RBIs in his last 4 played. Runner goes. He spun his wheels. Swing and a miss. The throw high. And Polanco steals a base, his 11th of the year.
Watch that hip turn there by Whalen. It's a little slow then from there to get rid of the ball to the plate. No chance for Recker.
Pittsburgh likes to run. That's their 79th stolen base. Polanco has 11 of them. And now Gong with an RBI chance here in the top of the first. Fly ball hit toward left center. INCIARTE sets nicely. Makes the catch. No advance. Well, the ball sounds solid off the bat, but it's not going anywhere. As Gong's retired, 2 outs. And here's Starling Marte, the Pirates center fielder. A .322 average, 7 home runs, 37 driven in. He's stolen 36 bases. He, McCutchen, and Polanco tied for the Pirate team lead in runs scored, each of them with 57. And that just missed inside.
Lefty-righty splits for Whalen this year. Take a look at these numbers. Right-handers were only 5 for 35. Lefties a little better. No homers at AAA and only 4 in AA.
Well, even with those splits and a righty-righty matchup here, lefty on deck, this is still a guy in the batter's box in tonight's lineup that I don't want to let beat me.
Agreed.
One ball, no strikes. Ooh.
That's what I say.
Looks like he has a Will Little strike zone. That was a strike. 2-0 the count, though, for Marte. Joyce on deck. Polanco the runner at second. He's singled and stolen a base. Ooh. Foul at the plate, 2-1. I'm guessing we're hearing Rob's family down below. Rob's mom made the trip. They live in Haines City, Florida, just outside of Orlando.
I wonder if they had an inkling before the announcement was made last night. Get a little head start.
Could be.
2 balls and a strike. And rolled foul out of play.
Whalen is 22 years old, 6'2", 220, out of Haines City, as you said, and was a 12th round pick in 2012 by the Mets.
One thing we do have to work on, reading his bio, he's a big Mets fan. That's not going to work if you're wearing a Braves jersey.
No, well, I'm sure that'll change now, if it hasn't already.
Yeah, Big Mike Piazza and David Wright fan. And now he's got a 2-2 count for Marte. And I think that hit him. It did. Marte plunked. So first and second, 2 outs, and a new count for Matt Joyce. The Pirates left fielder is going to stand in.
That breaking ball's been up a little bit this inning. That's to be expected, I think, trying to overthrow it a little here. Amped up.
A little amped up. Like I said, you're always told just do what you've been doing to get here. But when you get here, you think that sinker on the corner has got to be on the black. That good curveball you throw has got to break a little bit more. And your natural tendency is try to do everything a little bit better instead of trying stay within yourself.
So Joyce will hit with 2 outs and 2 on. Here's a good pitch. Joyce is having a nice year for the Pirates. 10 homers, 34 driven in. 4 of his 34 RBIs have come against the Braves, including 1 last night. Fly ball, well hit center. Inciarte sprinting to the warning track. It is gone. Joyce has hit a 3-run homer. And the Pirates get a hit batsman and a homer after 2 are out, and they have struck for 3 in the first.
said they sounded solid, Chip. They weren't going anywhere. That one did, and the wind actually kind of blowing in. Might have been supposed to be a back foot slider, and it wasn't.
Yeah, try to go in with something, like I said, either that slider or fastball, left it over the plate, and Joyce didn't miss it.
So it's 3-0 Pittsburgh. David Freese, their first baseman. And he pops one out of play, foul. And the point I was making earlier about the Pirates, down the stretch, every game's important. They have a pretty favorable schedule. A lot of games left against teams with sub 500 records. And with the Marlins losing earlier, they could pick up a game in the wild card standings. And that's inside even count.
They've had some good luck against Atlanta in recent times. Also, they've won 12 out of 16 against the Braves.
One ball, one strike.
Dang, Matt Joyce, boy, it's going to be hard for Pirates to keep him out of the lineup. 151 at bats, 11 homers, 37 driven in.
Well, if they want to trade Andrew McCutchen, I know a place that I'd consider a landing spot.
It's a crowded outfield.
That's well, we did talk about that with Kelsey in the pregame show. As the count 2-2 now, bases empty, 2 outs. And Freese, watch that sail off the plate. In the air toward Kemp in left, and he can't get there. Freese broke his bat, and he's aboard with 2 outs. 3 straight Pirates hitters have reached, and that'll bring up the shortstop Jordy Mercer. And it'll also bring out Roger McDowell for a quick visit. Look up and down this Pirate lineup card. There are lots of buccos with big offensive numbers against the Braves. You'd expect that to a certain degree with guys like Marte and Gregory Polanco. This is the guy, though, Atlanta just can't get out. Jordy Mercer's hitting 11 of 12 against the Braves with a hefty .404 batting average in that stretch. This year hitting .280.
Natural tendency for Whalen after the homer was to try not to make another mistake. Looked like he made a pretty good pitch on Freese when he broke his bat. Good pitch. That would have been a good 2-strike pitch to get him to chase.
The count. And back to the screen for the Pirates shortstop Jordy Mercer. Short hop stop by Recker.
That was a beauty. Good stop. Set up inside, and the pitch goes into the left-handed batter's box. Great reactions, good hands.
Here's a dangerous count, 3-1. And that missed inside. So Whalen's up to 26 pitches. And Eric Fryer, the catcher, will stand in. We had a terrifying moment here last night when Francisco Cervelli was hit by Mike Foltynewicz changeup. Thankfully, not that he was hit, but that it was the changeup. Cervelli tried to stay in the game, walked under his own power to first base, was woozy, got taken out, and Fryer finished up with 2 at bats.
Yeah, hit him right in the helmet.
And this is the Foltynewicz-Cervelli scene. He tried to stay in, but Pirates did the right thing, got him out of the ball game. 1 ball, no strikes. I would imagine, Tom, the mound feels like it's a million miles away from the plate, and the plate looks like it's the size of a 50-cent piece.
Yes, it does. Just got to try and calm all those nerves. Easier said than done. Just try to get some pitches in the zone and see if you can get a ground ball, get out of here.
Got that call. It's 2-1.
All right, he's filled up just about every category in his first inning. Let's make a comeback right here and get your first strikeout.
Freeze at second, Mercer at first. Ball 4. So the Pirates will send 9 men to the plate here in the first inning. Jeff Locke, who has been struggling mightily in rotation for the Pirates, has been staked to a 3-run lead. He'll try to help himself. And Locke, as you might recall, was a former Braves farmhand. Traded to the Pirates in the Nate McLouth deal. He's a 107 hitter. And a generous strike there.
Well, that's what you got to tell yourself here. Try to make the pitch, get out of the inning, and give your offense a chance. It's not like the guy going out there against him hasn't had his struggles too. So keep it to 3, and you never know.
I think you said this at dinner, Tom. If you've given up 3, don't give up 4.
Absolutely. That's the only mentality you can have right now.
Fouled at the plate. It's 1-2.
Only twice this year has Whalen thrown 100 pitches or more in a start, and they've come in his last 2 starts, and he threw exactly 100 and then 104. He's at 34 already this inning. That will cut into his longevity already tonight.
And now the 1-2 pitch. All the way to the backstop. Recker couldn't smother that. Freeze will come home. The Pirates move up. And that's a wild pitch. So now I think you're right. He has filled up all the lines.
Remember, it's the pitcher. Don't have to make a perfect pitch.
Swing and a miss. There's his first major league strikeout. Jeff Locke is the final out of the first inning. The Pirates bat around and score 4 times in the top of the first. Pittsburgh, we head to the bottom of the first inning. Jeff Locke was the first strikeout victim for Rob Whalen. Hopefully he'll be victimized by the Atlanta offense, something that's happened to Locke in his last couple of starts.
19th start, 8-6 on the year. You see his home road splits, 10 road starts. He's struggled 3-4, and that's probably fortunate with a 7.47 ERA. So he's struggled on the road. He's given up some runs on the road. So hopefully that's going to be the formula to get the Braves back in this thing.
Here's the Braves lineup. We'll see Matt Kemp in the cleanup spot for the second time in as many days. Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, who homered here last night. Inciarte, Recker, Ibar, and Whalen hits ninth. Locke was exiled to the bullpen. Tonight makes his first start since July 20th. Let's get a couple of these runs right back and start him thinking about a bad result. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes for Gordon Beckham.
This guy's had a couple of relief stints around one start. His last start was July 20th against Milwaukee, and that wasn't a very good one. He only lasted 3 innings. His last 11 1/3 innings, he's given up 21 hits and 10 runs. Low 90s fastball and a lot of changeups.
Driven foul out of play, and with Francisco Liriano traded away, they need Locke to step up in rotation for this Pittsburgh club. Again, there's opportunity there for their starting staff as well. It's doubtful they'll catch the Cubs. Not impossible, but doubtful, being 11 back. But a playoff spot is still very much in reach for Pittsburgh. And strike 3 at the tomahawk, throws Gordon Beckham, and there's the first out. He didn't think much of that call. And there's the first out of the bottom of the first inning. The Pirates line up with Polanco, Marte, and Joyce in the outfield from right to left. Gong and Freeze on the corners in the infield. Frazier and Mercer at second and short, and Eric Friars behind the plate.
Pirates defense this year very good. They're 4th in the league in errors with 55. Washington leads the National League with 44.
And Washington won today out in Arizona behind Max Scherzer. They won 8-3. Nationals might be getting ready, as you said, Joe, to find another gear. Swing and a miss. And we will see Washington on the upcoming road trip.
Yeah, adding Melanson really helped because Papelbon had not been pitching very well at all. There's the change.
That's a good one.
Backed it up, but missed that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Put it in a good spot, though. 6 feet, 195, 28 years old.
Little pop down the left field line, broken bat, and just foul. In fact, look at the barrel of the bat.
Lawn dart.
That split his barrel right down the middle. Ah, you just can't beat good maple, can you?
So Adonis has a new bat. He's ready to go with the 2-2 pitch coming. That's popped up over the Braves on deck circle and into the seats. Where a fan from Warner Robins comes up with the souvenir. A couple of times in this sequence, Tom, Locke has tried to get strikes on pitches that weren't.
Well, that's expanding the zone. He threw a couple change-ups in a row, got the 2 strikes, came back with the 3rd one where tried to get him to chase. But we talk about good misses and bad misses. Your good misses are the ones that look like strikes but finish out of the zone.
To third, and Gong's got it, scoops and fires. Strong throw, 2 outs. Locke trying to put together a shutdown first inning. Now he's got Freddie Freeman standing in. Pirates so far this year have had Freeman's number for the most part. Freddie has 21 at bats in 5 games against Pittsburgh, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts. Even count, and a ball and a strike. One area that gives you hope is that Freddie's done pretty good work against left-handed pitchers. A .303 average. That's one of the best averages on the club. The team hitting .242 against lefties this season. And the Braves are only 11-26 against southpaw starters. Another reason why they're excited to add Matt Kemp. And Freeman just got hit. He'll take first.
Freddie refuses to wear shin guards for foul tips. He doesn't like to wear that elbow guard that's so fashionable now among players. But that one got him right where you would wear that elbow guard, right on the point of his right elbow.
So Matt Kemp, first game jitters, you figure, out of the way for Matt, who was hitless last night. Those are his numbers compiled with the San Diego Padres. And Kemp creamed left-handed pitching this year too. 41 games, a .330 average. 21 homers, excuse me, 9 homers, 21 RBIs, and only 18 strikeouts.
5 for 10 with a homer against Locke.
And we talked about it a lot last night. If you have not read Matt's Players Tribune article that he authored before coming to the Braves, I encourage you to do so. It was really, really well written. Again, Tommy, really enjoyed your interview with Matt yesterday, talking about that and his opportunity to play for his favorite team as a kid. Getting a fresh start.
I'm sure that against Locke, who does throw in the low 90s, there's probably a feeling of he can't beat me. You know, I know that he throws a good changeup. He got into a hitter's count, got a fastball, fouled it off. There's not too many places for Locke to go unless he makes a good pitch with his changeup to Kemp.
Bouncing ball into the shift, bobbled, and to the bag, and just in time was Frazier, and that retires the side. Freeman's forced out. Braves are done in the first. Top of the order coming up again against Rob Whalen for the Pirates.
Nothing as we head to the second inning, and you saw Rob Whalen on the mound making his MLB debut today, and that means that there were some roster moves today. Infielder Daniel Castro and pitcher Ryan Weber were both optioned down to Gwinnett. Rob Whalen back up here, and then relief pitcher Brandon Kenneth take over those roster spots, both of them making their 2016 Braves debut.
Busy day again. So we look forward to a better second for Rob Whalen. Same thing for Matt Kemp. First game jitters out of the way for Matt. I'm hoping first inning jitters now out of the way for Rob Whalen. Now he's got to make some pitches. And he's got a do-over with the top of the Pirates order coming up. Frazier leads off. He fly to right. And that one's outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
It's not a good sign, of course, that you get this quick opportunity to go through the lineup again and correct what went wrong, but hopefully better things ahead. Good breaker.
When Whalen was drafted by the Mets, he was really kind of disappointed to fall all the way to the 12th round. As that one's hit again to right field and playable for Markakis. He was pitching very well. Throwing the ball in the low 90s, got up to 95, and then went through the dreaded dead arm period for a month and a half. And he said at the time that his scouting stock really started to drop. And when the 10th round came, he was really disappointed that he hadn't been picked in the first 10 rounds. Well, the 12th round came, and there were about 8 teams that called him. Said, all right, we're thinking about taking you in the 12th. If we choose you, will you sign with us? Well, the team he wanted to play for was the Mets. They were one of the 8 teams that called him. So at the end of the day, Whalen actually got to choose the organization with which to sign, and it was the Mets. Little dribbler, can't get it. Freeman feeds him at the bag, and he got Polanco in time. 2 outs. And it was almost predestined that he would end up in New York. His dad was born in Flushing. His mom is from the borough of Queens. And once his older siblings went on to college, it was just Whalen and the rest of the family. And to help him pursue his dream of playing baseball, Dad retired from UPS and they moved to Florida, and the rest is history.
Well, that sounds very similar to me when I got drafted out of high school. It's kind of the old Bob Uecker story, though. I called 8 teams, and all my favorites, they said they'd get back to me.
Still waiting, aren't you?
Yeah.
Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Gong flying out to center. Whalen could use a 1-2-3 inning. He's gotten the first 2 Pirates. Two and 0. That was a good pitch. Had Gong flinching and moving out of the way. 2-1.
Pirates in their own division have a record of 19-23. A good record against the Cardinals. They're 8-4 against St. Louis, 8-5 against St. Louis, but they're 3-9 against the Cubs. Braves are 7-17 against the Central.
Well, we got a chance to improve on that starting on Friday. Cardinals and Milwaukee, first 2 stops on that trip.
The odd thing is they're 3-3. The Braves 3-3 against the Cubs, who are running away with that division.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Jung Ho Gong, the Pittsburgh third baseman. Ripped down the left field line, and fair ball. 14th double for Gong. More 2-out trouble for Whalen. And he's aboard with 2 outs.
Breaking ball. Middle of the plate. He was fooled, but middle of the plate allowed him to get to it.
Yep. A little more finish, a little bit more down. I don't think he gets that much contact on it.
Yeah, the guys here don't miss mistakes like they do in AA and AAA.
Not as frequently. Every now and then they will, but.
Well, it looked like Rob was going to get out of the first inning. He had a favorable count with Starling Marte and then hit him on the elbow. Joyce followed with a 3-run homer. Inside out swing, fly ball right. Markakis is there, and he makes the play. Scoreless inning for Rob Whalen in the second. Nick Markakis will lead off for the Braves. It's 4-0 Pittsburgh. In the second inning, he's swinging a hot bat, as you see on our Georgia lottery, hitting the jackpot.
Last 21 games, 316 average, 4 homers, 11 RBIs. 4 homers in his previous 167 games leading up to that, so been swinging it well.
One of the things he's done is move his hands back just a little bit. Got him back, got him started, gets him started a little quicker, and generates a little more bat speed.
All last season, Markakis 3 homers and 53 RBIs. He's at 6 and 54 this year. So it's Markakis, Inciarte, and Anthony Recker versus Jeff Locke, staked to a 4-run first inning lead. And out of play left side, Steve Reich 1. Broken bat, and that is a foul ball. Jeff Locke is from New Hampshire. He lives in Center Conway, New Hampshire. Originally drafted by the Braves.
But he was born in North Conway, New Hampshire. So he kind of crossed over.
He did. Good ski area there in North Conway.
Is it?
Yeah. It's almost God's country. Almost in Massachusetts.
Fly ball left center field. That's very well hit. That ball is going to get down. It's going to die on the warning track. And Markakis doubles with a 2-strike count. And that's the first Braves hit of the night.
7 straight for Nick. He had not had a lot of luck against Locke, but he got kind of a short slider there, it looked like. Didn't do much. Put a good hack on it.
.27 doubles for Nick now, and the Braves' hottest hitter is Ender Inciarte. Chip away here, get a run or two. Don't have to get it all at once. That would be nice. Get a couple. Get Locke sweating a bit. And a strike. Ender's got a hit in 13 straight. He had a pair of hits last night. Fly ball center. That's playable for Marte. And no advance by Markakis. Inciarte's retired for Anthony Recker.
Yeah, don't test his arm. More assists in the last 2 years than anybody in baseball, starting Marte. 28. Ender Inciarte, by the way, second, 21.
Anthony's 2 for 7 so far on the homestand. He's done a nice job behind the plate. He's looking for his 5th RBI. He's 8 for 24 overall. And that pops away. No chance for Fryer. Markakis to third. Now a fly ball could score the first Atlanta run. Wild pitch.
Change up grip, circle change. That didn't appear to be a real difficult block there, but it got by Fryer. So yeah, get that run in, get on the board, and get a little closer.
One ball, 2 strikes. You saw Whalen in the Braves dugout prowling around the bat rack. Would he have his own order of bats yet, or is he going to have to borrow somebody's?
He might have something from spring training or something maybe, but my guess is probably not.
I mean, you pitchers, you don't have like a community bat for the pitching staff, do you?
Well, they used to, but you know, us pitchers, we can pick up anything and hit.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just so you know, Chip.
Yes, sir.
Their bats, you know, the players have their names on them or autograph on them. The pitcher's bats out there on the it says pitcher.
Yeah, or stock.
Yes.
It was like the factory remnants from Little Slugger.
Yes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hot shot to short. Late break from third, but Markakis had to make sure it wasn't caught on a line. Good base running by Nick. The Pirates concede the run for the out, give Recker his 5th run batted in, and the Braves are on the board. It's now a 4-1 game.
5th RBI for Anthony. Get him in by whatever means necessary. Good at bat.
Eric Ibar's another hot hitter for the Braves. Eric has 11 hits during an 8-game hitting streak. So he's bumped his average up to 228.
If I were guessing, though, when Whalen was over there looking for a bat, there were probably a couple of position players just kind of hanging around the bat rack like, no, not that one. Here, try
No. Yeah.
Try that number 18 bat.
Hey, a base hit by Ibar the other way. He shot that past David Freese. 2nd hit of the inning. At the very least, the Braves will clear the pitcher.
9 in a row for Eric. 12 hits in those 9 games.
So Rob Whalen's first big league at bat. Tommy, who's your first game in the big leagues against?
Houston Astros in the Dome.
And who was the opposing pitcher?
Mike Scott.
Oh,
that's when I really knew I was in the big leagues. When he threw that first fastball, and it was kind of like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Little bouncer up the middle. He made contact, but Mercer throws him out, and that'll retire the side. But the Braves are on the board. Let's see if Whalen can shut him down again. It's now 4-1 Pittsburgh after 2. Thursday, August 18th, get the one-of-a-kind Andrew Jones the Catch bobblehead. This is one you don't want to miss. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Were you in the dugout the day of the catch?
I was.
What was the reaction besides, oh my gosh, did we just see that?
Yeah, that was essentially it. But you know, that same reaction we had so many times with balls that Andrew got to and caught.
Well, we can't wait to induct Andrew Jones and John Schuerholz in the Braves Hall of Fame. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Joe will, as always, do a great job in emceeing the luncheon.
Well, that's a lot of pressure.
Mess it up. And two great Braves will be inducted here in Atlanta at the 755 Club. So the Braves have got Whalen his first run. He trails by 3 now with Joyce, Freeze, and Mercer coming up. 47 pitches for the kid right-hander. One of them off the bat of Joyce was a 3-run homer. And low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Three and one.
I like this little hip turn he has in his windup. From a hitter's standpoint, it adds an element of deception, like on that pitch right there. It didn't come out quite as fast as you think it's going to when he has that turn. But as you say, Tommy, you still got to make good pitches. You still can't throw it down the middle.
No. No, you get away with down the middle a little bit when you've got electric stuff, but even that's tough to do.
Down the middle's okay as long as it's at the knees and sinking when it gets there. You just can't hold the plane down the middle.
Yeah, if it's down the middle and finishing knee high or above the knees, it's trouble. If it's below the knees, you got a shot at a bad swing and bad contact.
He lost Joyce. 3 walks for Whalen. That's how the Pittsburgh third begins. And David Freese is coming up. Freese singled and scored the 4th Pittsburgh run on a wild pitch.
with all the great moments, Chip, as a kid who grew up in St. Louis, all the great moments in St. Louis Cardinal history, David Freese etched his name deep into those books with what he did in Game 6 against the Rangers in St. Louis, wasn't
Cardinals
it?
were down to their last strike twice.
Yeah.
Rangers were that close to winning it. Freese broke their hearts twice. One ball, one strike.
This guy likes to swing the bat. He strikes out a lot. He's a candidate on a changeup or a breaking ball to expand his zone a little bit, maybe get you a double play ball. But you got to make it look like a strike.
Count 3-1 to the 2011 NLCS MVP and World Series MVP David Freese, who drove in 21 runs in the postseason that year.
Good grief.
That is a postseason record for one player. 3 balls and a strike. And that's ball 4. Well, one thing I asked Arbuckle Jenkins to look up. How many swing and misses for Rob Whalen so far tonight? He's thrown 60 pitches. The Pirates have swung and missed 3 times.
3.
And so the point of that is those pitches that are just off the plate and clearly strikes that we're seeing on Fox tracks, AA, AAA, you might get swings on those. Not here.
Well, yeah, true, absolutely true. But I think too, part of the problem is that he has not been able to establish command with his fastball. So you're not going to get guys to swing at pitches that are a touch off the plate. You know, and if you haven't established your fastball that you can throw it for strikes, anything that a guy sees with a little bit of spin on it, they're going to spit on it because they don't think, you know, if you can't throw your fastball for a strike, they're certainly going to spit on your breaking stuff and wait for you to make a mistake with your fastball.
Well, he's in some more trouble now. 2 on, nobody out. Jordy Mercer, Braves killers up there. He walked in the first inning. And that missed, ball 2. There's a belt high strike. Maybe higher than that. 2-1 the count.
But to me, that's a pitch that he at least threw with a little bit of conviction. He's got to do that more often. It seems as though he's kind of pushing the throttle, pulling the throttle, trying to find a spot where he can zone in, and you can't. You just got to go.
This may sound kind of silly, but I don't know that it's all that far-fetched. It's almost like for a guy who's making his major league debut, who is a pitch to contact guy, sinker slider guy, you almost need to go run 2 miles before you start warming up.
Yeah, to a degree. You can be too strong and
burn off some of that adrenaline.
Absolutely.
Swing and a fly ball left center. Kemp broke back, and he'll give way to Inciarte. And Mercer pops out. Now the catcher's up. You're a ground ball away from getting out with a double play ball.
Well, wins in your major league debut at Turner Field have been few and far between. In 20 years, there have only been 3. Matt Whistler last year. And would you have guessed the other 2?
Kawakami maybe, because he seems to be an answer for everything.
Yeah, all right.
James Parr, no, I would not have guessed.
James Parr 8 years ago.
And I was on that team with James Parr, so that tells you.
Mm-hmm.
Ball 1 to Fryer.
But to your point, Joe, too, though, for his style of pitching, you know, a contact guy, he's in that mode right now where he's pitching trying to avoid contact, and that's never a good thing for a contact pitcher.
No.
Broken bat, pop into right center. INCIARTE got a good jump. 2 outs. And here's Locke. Locke was the first strikeout victim for Whalen in the big leagues. Braves will have the top of the order coming up in their half of this 3rd inning.
Strike 1's been hard to come by. If he can get Locke here, he's probably going to earn himself another inning, if for no other reason than just to save the bullpen. And I like the fact that Brian Snitker's trying to give him every opportunity to get out of this, even after walking the first 2 guys. O'Flaherty's been up in the 1st and now the 3rd.
That's something Brian talked about with Mike Fultonevich last night. The only way these young starters are going to learn how to pitch out of trouble is to get into it and learn how to get out of it and navigate a lineup a 3rd time.
You can only learn it through experience. If you don't do it, you're never going to learn how to do it. It may sound easy going through the lineup for the 3rd time rather than the 2nd time, but it's not.
The 2-2 pitch to Jeff Locke, the Pirates pitcher. Strike 3 outside corner. And Whalen works around back-to-back walks to start the 3rd. Top of the order up for the Braves. Manageable game. It's 4-1 Pittsburgh. And Paul Bird will be with us to debate the pros and cons of youth baseball travel leagues to kick off our 4-part series, Driven the Youth Baseball Debate. Tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern during Braves Live pregame, only on Fox Sports Southeast and streaming on Fox Sports Go. We've seen some outtakes from that Driven series. It looks like it's going to be a fascinating 4-part series, and can't wait to hear what Joe and Tom and Paul, Brian Jordan and others have to say about the youth baseball debate.
It's going to spark some conversations, that's for sure.
And if you weren't with us last night, I'll repeat what I said. Parents need to watch it. And not just parents of baseball players and softball players, but parents of kids who are in any youth sport, who these days are asked to make decisions on what sport they want to play when they're 10, 11, and 12 years old. Pretty ridiculous.
Gordon Beckham drives one off the screen foul. Beckham disputed his 3rd strike call in the opening inning. He'll be followed by Garcia and Freeman as Jeff Locke goes through the lineup a 2nd time, beginning with the Braves' 3rd. It's been tough sledding for Gordon since he's come back from his 2nd stint on the disabled list. He has 11 hits in 19 games and a 175 average. Shame if it was, he was really swinging the bat well before he got hurt again. And he was on his way to first. Took a strike.
That one looked like a real strike. The one he was called out on in the 1st inning looked like a ball out of the zone.
Fly ball right. That'll chase Polanco back a few steps. He's got it. And a nice comeback by Locke. 1 down. Adonis grounded out to Gong back in the 1st inning. Swing and a miss. Brian Snitker's been moving guys around a bit in the lineup. Last night it was Ibar hitting 2nd. Tonight it's Garcia. This is the 7th time Adonis has hit 2nd. Atlanta's used 7 different leadoff hitters, 7 different number 2 hitters. The most stable, if you want to use that term, spot on the lineup card has been number 3, Freddie Freeman. And tonight's batting 3rd for the 101st time this year. There's a shot down the left field line and headed for the corner. It's going to bounce high off the wall. Joyce played it well. Garcia's on his way to 2nd, and he'll stand up with a double.
He got a misplaced changeup and didn't miss it. Down and out over the plate. Adonis coming in had hit .369 over his last 21 games, tearing it up. Got a little something going here with 1 out.
Yeah, another chance to chip away. No pun intended.
Whew. Here's Freddie, hit by a pitch his 1st time up, and then forced out at 2nd base. It's 1-2. Locks up to 50 pitches.
Yeah, trade places with Adonis and get Kemp up there. Let Matt drive you in. Locke was sent to the bullpen because of his lack of effectiveness, really struggling. Had a good outing out of the bullpen, made a start against Milwaukee, pitched poorly, 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks. Went back to the bullpen, had a decent outing, and then he's back in the rotation today after the trade of Liriano.
Bounding ball to first. It took a funny hop. It's in the corner, and the Braves get a run. Freeman's on his way to second. He's going to stop there. It's a 4-2 game. That was headed right for David Freese, but somehow it took a funny bounce. And the good Lord smiles upon the Braves here in the 3rd inning.
Think it hit the edge of the grass? No.
It's a funny spin on it. It bounced almost like it hit the bag.
Yeah.
But it didn't. But just, I think it had so much top spin on it, it just took off.
Wow.
Now, I wonder if it hit a spot where a base stealer, a base runner, sort of digs a toe hold down there.
Hit a divot?
Divot, yeah.
Could have. Well, you did trade places with him.
Now Kemp represents the tying run. And didn't get it. Strike 1.
Watch Matt take batting practice today. His first round, he works on hitting everything to right field. Next round is more to right center, and then the last couple of rounds he's hitting it everywhere, including deep into the seats.
That was taken low. As Joe pointed out, Kemp has excellent numbers against Locke, who was staked to a 4-0 lead before he threw a pitch tonight. The Braves have gotten 2 of them back. Neither pitcher has pounded the strike zone, it's safe to say.
No, that was a pretty good pitch by Locke, though. Borderline. Kemp laid off it.
But the Will Little strike zone helps Matt Kemp. 2-1 pitch. Missed inside. Ball 3. Locke wanted that. Clint Hurdle, Ray Searage know that Nick Markakis is waiting next. There's a strike.
His changeup.
It's a good one.
Yes, it is.
Well, Matt Kemp said one of his thrills was hitting a home run against Tom Glavine the other way. Would it be nice if he does the same thing to Jeff Locke right here? Full count pitch.
I'd take a line drive in that right center field gap, too.
Instead, it's ball 4. A pair of doubles back to back. Now Kemp walks. Markakis is coming up. And Locke in some real trouble now. He's piling up the pitches.
Last 2 or 3 years in particular, Ray Searage, the pitching coach, making his way out to the mound, has done a great job for the Pirates pitching staff. They've been among as a group the best in baseball.
This year, though, their starters' ERA collectively from point to point in the season a full 1 run higher.
Yeah, but I think we've even got video. We're talking about Cervelli getting hit in the head with that pitch last night. Ryan Vogelsong, who's pitching tomorrow, got hit in the face with a pitch. James Taillon, the starting pitcher, got hit with a line drive that came back and hit him in the head.
So it's been anything but smooth sailing for the Pirates, who had another great year, but had the bad fortune of playing in the National League Central with the Cubs and Cardinals ahead of them. So now after the pep talk, Nick Markakis and Locke will match up for a second time. Nick doubled in the second. Ground ball, foul past first. 0-1. Freeman doubled, Kemp walked. A full year removed from neck surgery, Nick Markakis has been much more productive. Might remember when Braves were moving toward opening day in Miami last year. It was an open question as to whether or not Nick Markakis was going to be ready to play. Well, he was, and he singled in his first Braves at bat down at Marlins Park.
Spoiled a good pitch there. That was a nice choice by Locke. One of his better fastballs. He put it in a good spot just off the plate. Nick fought it off.
And again.
Saw Fryer there just as Locke was about to deliver the pitch, slapped the ground with his glove. He wanted that slider in the dirt.
That was right off the handle, and Nick broke his bat.
Well, I think he broke his bat last time up and then hit a double.
That's right.
That's a good sign.
Big gap in right center for Markakis. The 0-2 pitch.
Locke's high water mark this year was a beauty. May 30th at Miami, a complete game, 3-hit shutout, no walks. He struck out 1 guy. And did it in 105 pitches.
Markakis is trying to wear him down.
That's that pitch inside that you don't want to swing at it because you know there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do with it, but there's a real good chance it'll get called a strike.
Yep. Locke was an all-star in 2013. Somewhat enigmatic since. Up the middle, Pirates had him played perfectly. To flip to second for one and a first to double play. And that retires the side. That ball was headed for center field, but the Pirates infield defense, which is a very good defense, smothers that threat. 4-2 after 3. Top of the 4th inning. It's time for tonight's State Farm double play. And this one was a nifty one turned by the Pittsburgh Pirates. It robbed Nick Markakis of a base hit and perhaps an RBI.
Yeah, he hit the ball sharply. They just had it defense on it, but there was Mercer. Easy flip over to Frazier. Nice play by the Pirates to get out of the inning.
And Locke was smart enough to not play goalie on that one and tried to get out of the way, and did successfully.
So it's a 2-run game. Rob Whalen goes to work in the 4th inning. And for the 3rd time, the Pirates leadoff man will start the inning. Frazier's flied out to right twice. If you missed our broadcast last night, first of all, shame on you. But secondly, Frazier's a Georgia boy, born in Athens, Georgia, lives in Bishop, Georgia. Last census said Bishop, Georgia is about 242 people up near Athens in Oconee County. Had him a 6th round pick 3 years ago by the Buccos. And a strike, full count. Frazier was the 2nd highest man in batting average among all the Pirates minor leaguers last year. Played at AA Altoona. He hit .324 down there.
He sure made a big impression last night.
He started the game at second base, then moved to the outfield and handled 2 or 3 chances. Looked very comfortable out there.
They have Josh Harrison, who plays second base quite a bit. Harrison 266, 3 homers, 42 driven in, 14 stolen bases, but he's got a bad leg right now.
Swing and a miss. Frazier's retired.
Good location there.
Whalen sent down 4 straight. That's his 3rd strikeout. And here's Polanco. Different look for the Pirates club tonight. No Josh Harrison. No Andrew McCutchen. The latter named by design. The Pirates say they are not going to play him. They will not start him. They probably won't pinch hit with him this entire series. Hoping that a complete and total shutdown will get Andrew McCutchen going. That's hit softly to first. Freeman to a knee. Handles that sinking line drive. 2 outs. And here's Gong. He's fly to center. And he has doubled.
Gong could play second base too, and was playing second when he was injured last year. Tore his knee up.
And he was having a terrific first major league season. 15 homers, 58 RBIs, scored 60 runs, but was held to 126 games after Chris Coughlin took him out in mid-September. Drives this one high in the air toward left. Kemp is on the run, still going. Inciarte got there and makes the catch a step away from the fence. Rob Whalen just turned in his first 1-2-3 inning as a big leaguer. Braves are down 2 in the 4th.
Got all the runs in the first inning. Braves are trying to fight back here as we go to the bottom of the 4th. That last out. Watch Matt Kemp in this evening sky. He had a little trouble trying to find the baseball. Wasn't sure where it was. Thankfully, Inciarte did know where it was. But in the dusk, hard to find the ball in left field here at Turner Field with no outfield lights.
So that helped the Braves turn in a 1-2-3 top of the 4th. Here in the bottom it will be Ender Inciarte, Anthony Recker, and Eric Ibar coming up. And that's in for a called strike. Up the middle, that's a base hit. INCIARTE now with a 14-game hit streak. And an excellent start for the Braves.
You know, I've been talking about how long his bat stays in the strike zone. This swing really exemplifies it. It may have been an off-speed pitch, but his bat stayed in the zone. His head never moved. Breaking ball. Just went to it. Wasn't trying to pull it. He was just trying to make contact and hit it right back through the box.
RECKER grounded out his first time up, but that brought home Nick Markakis with the first of 2 Atlanta runs.
Fryer is 1 for 8 on base stealers. Left-handed pitcher, though, makes it doubly tough to get a good jump.
Swing and a high fly ball. That's hit well toward left. At the track, at the wall. It's right off the 380 sign. Here comes INCIARTE streaking around third. He's going to score. And RECKER with a big double makes it a 1-run game.
Fourth double for Anthony, and at least 3 of them have been just like this, right off the very top of the wall, that easily could have been home runs with just a little extra oomph. Oh, a few more inches, that's out of here. Tie game, but
great read by Ender too. He saw that the whole way and never stopped running.
So here are the Braves knocking on the door. Can you hear them? They're down a run.
I did hear them.
Yeah, that was tremendous.
Ibar with a base hit his first time. And he's got a base hit this time. RECKER around third is going to be held. With nobody out, no need to run yourself into an out with the catcher. And Ibar's 2 for 2, and they're at the corners.
Whalen's coming to the plate. He will hit for himself, it looks like, as Eric stayed on a changeup. Second hit of the night. He continues to be hot. So Whalen, who's getting his second big league at bat, is going to be asked to, but whoa, he's got his own bat.
Does have his own bat.
Goodness. That's good stuff there.
See if he can wail on one now, huh?
Oh.
I see what you did there.
It's better than knocking on the door.
He pushed the bunt toward first. And that's exactly what the Braves wanted out of that play. They got Ibar to second. They've got the top of the order coming up. And there's one out. A perfect sacrifice.
That away. Gordon's due. I like him here. Guy going to try to throw a change up, keep the ball in the infield. Gordon will hit it to right field for a base hit.
Popped up. Shallow right center. The grab made by Marte. No chance to run on him. So Beckham jumped on the first pitch and flies out for the second out. And now Adonis Garcia is the batter.
That hurt. How great is that when you're in a jam to get a first pitch out?
with no damage.
With no damage. It's very big lift.
Well, Garcia's swinging the bat well. He's doubled and scored. And he swings the first pitch. This one's into center field again. And just like that, Locke is out of the inning. The Braves got 3 straight hits to start the frame, settle for 1 run. Recker's double makes it a 4-3 game.
Speaking of that, 2 years ago yesterday, losing Pete, and 8 years ago today, losing Skip. A reminder of how much we miss those guys.
And Ernie Johnson passed away on the 12th of August.
11 years ago.
And it's a tough week and a half for us up in the booth.
No doubt. And miss them every day.
As Starling Marte goes to work. It's funny, we just celebrated Alumni Weekend here at the ballpark. Wouldn't be the same if we didn't salute Ernie. That guy in the middle. Oh boy.
Well, check him out. We'll go back to it after this pitch.
Oh no.
No. Yeah, we're going to go left to right here. Okay. Here we go. Check out the jacket. That looks like he got it from Ralston Purina. Checkerboard square.
Yeah.
Check out the fro on your dad. That's a good look. He's got the collar out, probably got some beaded necklace on. And Pete, are those real glasses, you think? That is a great picture.
I got one thing to say about that. Oh, that hit him? Sure did. And the ball trickles down the first base line halfway to the bag as Marte is hit again. Once on the elbow, this time it appears on the hand.
Oh, it's that one where the bottom hand gets pinched on the bat. Oh boy, no, that's a bad spot. That's in the wrist and that hamate bone area. Hopefully he's okay. The Pirates can ill afford to have him out of the lineup.
He'll take the batting gloves off so the Pirates trainer can get a closer look.
You had one thing to say?
Yeah. Can we put that picture back up again?
Looks like Marte will be okay.
All I got to say is this. It's terrifying to see your future.
You got some hair, but I don't think you're going to have that hair.
Oh, my God. You should see my dad's wedding photo with Paula.
I've seen it.
I mean, she looks hot. He's a mulligan. And he looks like he's got the Jim Carrey tuxedo on, the frilly shirt. And was it like a light, I think it was like a light blue or peach or some 1970s thing working. Whew. Paula, bless your heart. Get yourself to an eye doctor. That's what I thought when I saw that picture. Right?
I mean, I think all you need to do is just go get yourself a Don Sutton permanent wave, and you got it matched up.
I'll get back to you on that. As Matt Joyce stands in, he's homered and he's walked. Marte is going to stay in. He's got a short lead at first. That hit batsman snapped the streak of 6 straight Pirates hitters retired by Rob. Gave up 4 in the first. Pittsburgh sent 9 to the plate. He's only given up 1 hit since. He's walked a couple and he's hit a man. He's given the Braves bats a chance to get back in the game, and they've done that for him. It's 4-3. Good curveball froze Joyce, who hit the 3-run homer with 2 outs in the opening frame.
I like that slow breaking ball. First pitch after the hit batter, especially with the guy he's had trouble with tonight.
It's a good pitch to get into a count.
I know it's something Chipper has talked about a lot. When he became more accustomed to being the big leagues, the game just started to slow down. I don't know if 4 innings is enough for the game to slow down for Whalen, but he certainly had a lot more success over these last 3 than the first 9 Pittsburgh hitters.
You know, I think it's probably slowed down a touch, but also, you know, you get a little bit of confidence going, a little momentum going, you start getting some guys out, you get into a better feel, and you know, get back to doing what we talked about, the kind of pitcher that he is, trying to pitch the contact instead of trying to avoid contact.
Well, he's in the lineup for a 3rd time as the runner goes. Pitch out. Recker's throw is on target, but late. And Marte, after being hit by a pitch, exacts some revenge with a stolen base.
From a base runner's standpoint, if a pitcher speeds up his delivery to the plate, you sometimes tip off a pitch out. But it's got to be a whole lot quicker than what Whalen just did to the plate on that pitch out. It was a good delivery to Recker, but no chance for Anthony.
37 steals for Marte now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jonathan Villar of Milwaukee is the National League leader in steals. He's got 40.
He's moved to 3rd base now. Called up there. Prize shortstop prospect. We'll see him this time next week.
Orlando Arcia is his name. 2 balls and a strike. Tell you how the game's changed. I saw a note the other day. We're talking about the league leader in the National League with 40 steals. Ricky Henderson had 100 stolen bases as of August 1st one year. 100.
Wow.
Three balls and a strike for Joyce. Mile high pop up. And this one's playable for Nick. There's the first out.
You know what that says? If Ricky Henderson had stolen 100 by August 1st, he was on base a lot. There's no telling what he was hitting that time, at that point in that year. Probably had 10 or 12 or 15 home runs too.
So here's David Freese. He's reached base twice with a single, a run scored. He's also walked. So what strategery is Roger McDowell talking about in this situation?
Going over what you want to try and do. Whether you're going to, face him, put him on, set up a double play, all those kinds of things.
Went right after him. And a strike. Here's the thinking, I'm guessing, for Brian Snitker. Get Whalen through the 5th inning. You're down a run. You've got 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up in the bottom half of the frame. Hold the Pirates here and give the kid a chance to win the game.
Well, he's at 92 pitches, and as I said, he's only gone over 100 twice, and that's his last 2 starts, 100 and 104.
.61 of those pitches came in 2 innings tonight. The first and the third.
Yeah, even if you cut that first inning in half, or not quite half, he's been pretty economical.
No balls and a strike for Freeze. Right there at the knees. Good pitch.
Well, here's to me, you figure out what pitch you want to get him out with and make your best one right here. Put him away.
He did. An 88-mile-an-hour fastball.
They were all fastballs, I think. Oh, that's kind of a little cutter
cut on it. Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to do that or he just overthrew it and cut it a little bit, but nonetheless, big strikeout.
And Jordy Mercer's the batter. He's walked and popped out. Bet you didn't know that Will Little won the Good Housekeeping Award by all first-year umpires in the big leagues. Showed you why there.
It's a great honor.
He was trying to clean off the black part. I like that.
Tell you what, Rob Whalen can get Mercer here. He will have atoned greatly for the nerves in the first inning.
Oh, look, after that first inning, I think we all would have. You'd have said, hey, in the bottom of the 4th, the Braves are going to have a chance to tie the game. I think we all would have said okay, and probably would have been a little bit surprised. That's like we talked about. You know, you can't do anything about it, so you gave up 4 and don't give up 5.
Strike 1 for Mercer, the Pirates shortstop. catching a second win, perhaps.
Well, too, I think like Joe talked about, he's settled in a little bit. His nerves, his adrenaline, all that. I think those two breaking balls are his two best of the game at 82 miles an hour. Early in the game, he was throwing them harder than that.
And perfectly placed down and away from the right-hand hitter. And that's right where Recker wanted that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just past 9 o'clock here in Atlanta, Georgia. Wednesday, the 3rd of August. Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, Kelsey Wingert, Chip Carey with you from Turner Field. Game 2 of the series. 4-3 Pittsburgh at the moment. Swing and a miss. He struck out the last 2 hitters here in the 5th inning, and his mom is loving that finish. 4 first-inning runs, 1 hit over the last 4 innings pitched for Rob Whalen, with the heart of the order coming up, trying to tie it in the 5th.
In the bottom of the 5th, as we get the heart of the lineup, Matt Kemp due up this inning. And we told you yesterday that he was raised a Braves fan, and he got to meet a Braves legend yesterday. Hank Aaron was sitting outside of the clubhouse earlier this afternoon, and Matt Kemp went to find him to meet him and get a picture. He posted this picture to his Instagram, saying it was hands down one of the best days of his life. And you can imagine, as a lifelong Braves fan, he will never, ever forget that moment.
We all kind of feel that way every time we see Hank.
Yeah.
I saw him coming out of the clubhouse today, too, and it's like a good day.
Get kind of jelly-legged when you
yes, you do.
talk to him, don't you? So here we go. Locke survived the 4th inning, allowing 1 run. The Braves had him at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, but couldn't drive home the tying run. Now Freeman, Kemp, and Markakis are coming up. Freeman got an RBI double in the 3rd inning. Ball took a funny hop past David Freese at first base. Pittsburgh has a shift on. Freeman has the entire 3rd base line to play with if he so chooses. And he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike.
He made a real good pitch for the first strike, up and in. I wonder if he would dare try to go up there again. Try to get a swing.
Not a strike.
And a late call, too.
And a full count.
That was wide of the plate.
I will say Locke hit the glove, but the glove was out of the zone. Full count. And that's ball 4. So the tying runs aboard with Matt Kemp coming up.
And Locke wanted that one.
But Hurdle's asking where it was. Inside, I guess, was the answer.
Better pitch than the one before.
Yes. Kemp walked his last time up. There's a shot towards center field and a sliding try. It's off the glove of Marte. Freeman's on his way to third. The throw is late, and Matt Kemp hustles into second base.
And he's shaking that left hand. That's the one that got hit by the pitch. Hard hit ball by Kemp. His first hit is an Atlanta Brave. And again, a guy with a great arm couldn't come up and get enough on that. And by trying to throw out Freddie Freeman, he lets Kemp get into scoring position.
It's ruled a double all the way, and you could see on that great slow motion replay, the ball hit him right in that sore spot off the heel of the glove, and he's still trying to get some feeling in the hand. So again, the Braves have him second and third. This time nobody out, and Nick Markakis the batter. Now to play a strike.
Still trying to keep him tied up inside.
The Pirate bullpen begins to work again.
It's Jared Hughes.
Fly ball left side, and a fan from Jekyll Island made the play.
That's a good fielding island.
Yeah, it's a long drive up from there.
Well, it's somewhat apropos because both pitchers have had Jekyll and Hyde kind of performances tonight.
Yeah.
But the Braves have a great chance to take the lead and put Rob Whalen in a spot where he could win this game. That foul ball is caught by a fan in Americus, Georgia.
And they've got back-to-back left-handed hitters up. Each one has a base hit tonight. But he's got Markakis 0-2, and that's their primary concern right now is what do we do to put him away and not give up a run. The infield's back. If Nick can just hit a ground ball, especially to the right side, they'll get a run in, tie the game, and get Kemp to third.
Line drive left. That ball's going to hang up, though. And they're going to send Freeman. The throw's cut off at the plate, safe. Bo Porter and Freddie Freeman were not to be denied. Joyce came up ready to throw. I don't know if he got a whole lot on that throw. It was cut off, and then a spin throw to the plate was late, and the game's tied.
Well, I think you get a good idea why he's playing left field. Freddie did a great thing by hustling back to tag up. He got a bit of a late start. The throw was going to be off line, and that's why Fryer had it cut.
So Markakis ties the game with a sacrifice fly to shallow left. New game 4-4. Kemp's at second for Ender INCIARTE. And he lines one into right field. Here comes Kemp. They're going to wave him. Here comes the throw. It is up the line. The Braves lead at 5-4. Inciarte takes second on the throw, and Clint Hurdle will have to go get Jeff Locke. He could not hold a 4-run lead after 1 inning.
Fastball up and over the middle of the plate. Again, no hesitation to wave Kemp to the plate. Way off the mark. And the bad throw from Polanco allows Inciarte to get into scoring position.
So Jeff Locke making his first start since July 20th because he'd been so disappointing in rotation. Disappointed again tonight. The Braves have touched him for 2 runs in the 5th, and they've taken the lead with 1 out.
Is sponsored by Delta Airlines, your local Ford dealer, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Well, I said it's a Jekyll and Hyde start for Rob Whalen and Jeff Locke. Whalen gave up 4 runs in the first inning. He's given up 1 hit since, and now his offense has caught up, and they've given him the lead and are still batting with a 5-4 advantage in the home 5th. Anthony Recker will face Jared Hughes, who is the first Pirates reliever in the game.
Low 90s fastball and a slider, but mostly a fastball guy. The knock on him, 28 inherited runners this year, 12 have scored. Be nice to get this one in.
Ground ball, pass gone into left field. They're going to wave Inciarte. Joyce's throw is on target this time, and the tag applied by Fryer for the 2nd out. Bo Porter made Joyce make a good pickup, throw, and Fryer a good tag. Pittsburgh, with an excellent defense, made the play to cut down a 6th run.
And another big hit for Anthony Recker. But as you can see there, the hesitation by Inciarte. He's got to wait to make sure that ball goes through. But I don't blame Bo at all. I mean, he's out from here to there. It's the fastest runner on the Braves team with Malik Smith out. Ender with a good cut at 3rd. Just didn't work out this time.
So on the single, Inciarte's thrown out, and a shot to first. Freeze handles that at the bag and makes the play. Atlanta scores twice. A leadoff walk sets the table. 3 hits and 2 runs later, and the Braves lead after 5. 6th inning. Let's take a look at tonight's Toyota key plays. It was Rob Whalen making his major league debut in the 1st inning. It didn't go very well for him. He gave up 4 runs. But after that, guys, Whalen pitched a great game. He had base runners, but allowed just 1 hit over his final 4 frames.
Got 1-hit shutout ball over 4 innings, struck out 5.
Yeah, you gotta, if nothing else, you have to like the way he rebounded, the way he continued to compete. Went out there as the game went on, made some pitches, and did what you have to do: settle down and give your offense a chance to get back in the game. And the Braves have done it.
And look, Rob's not a fireball pitcher by any stretch of the imagination, but still struck out 5. He'd like to clean up the 4 walks, and he hit a couple of batters. But you know what? Great job in his debut.
Yeah, hopefully it's enough to give him another shot and see if he can go out there a little bit more settled down.
He'll turn things over to Ian Kroll as Eric Fryer gets things started and takes a strike. Up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 1-2. Pitcher spot is due next for the Pirates. And that's upstairs. Little roller right side. Beckham's got it. The flip to first in time. And Fryer's out number 1. This will be Max Moroff out of Trinity Prep High School in Winter Park, Florida, stepping in. Moroff had a great year at AA Altoona last year. Hit .293. Scored 79 runs and was headed to the University of Central Florida before signing with the Pirates after they took him in the 16th round 4 years ago. Made his big league debut this past weekend and pinch hitting against the Braves tonight. Out of play, 0-2. He was the Pirates' minor league player of the year last year. Oh, 0-2 your count. Max Moroff has some Major League Baseball bloodlines. His dad was picked by the Yankees in the 11th round in 1977. His dad's name is Dan Moroff. And I know Dan. He's my chiropractor in Orlando.
I see you walking with a limp these days.
What
kind of an endorsement that is.
Yeah. Well, his practice is all it's cracked up to be, Joe. It's So I went down to say hi to Max, who I had not met until today because he'd been in the minor leagues. And he gave me the old, oh yeah, I used to watch you when I was a little kid doing the basketball games, right? Isn't that a great feeling?
Love that. Yeah, I grew up watching you.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Appreciate that.
Stay hot. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3, and that's the second out. Good start for Kroll in the Pirates' 6th inning. Follow Braves Baseball live with the MLB.com @BAT app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. Back to the top, and Adam Frazier. He's 0 for 3. And right back to the mound. Good play by Kroll, and a big fastball to first. Ends the Pittsburgh 6th. Atlanta maintains the lead. It's a 5-4 Braves advantage.
Presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Who will own the belt after Game 2 tonight? Right now, the Braves have it, leading 5-4. Enjoy brunch at Turner Field on Sunday, August 21st, with a catered buffet featuring some of the newest Braves food creations and a Bloody Mary and mimosa bar. Go to Braves.com/brunch and get your tickets for this awesome event. Nice comeback for the Braves. Atlanta scored the last 5 runs. They've turned a 4-0 Pittsburgh lead into a 5-4 advantage. Jace Peterson will pinch hit. Juan Nicasio is on to pitch.
Nicasio's been in the rotation a lot for these guys. 26 games, but 12 starts. 8 wins.
You know, and once the big league non-waiver trade winds stopped blowing, there were a lot of people who didn't really understand what the Pirates were doing when they traded their closer, Mark Melanson, to the Nationals. They also traded Liriano to Toronto, who had been underachieving. So they've got some rotation holes, and some think they have a hole in their bullpen. I don't know if that's really true, because if you look at the numbers for the Pirates relief corps, and yes, it includes Melanson's work, their bullpen ERA since July 1st is 2.12, second only to the New York Yankees, who had Miller and Chapman and Betances working. So Peterson rips one down the right field line and out of play. They traded Melanson for a prospect. They traded Liriano, who is disappointing. They got Ivan Nova from the Yankees. He's going to go into their rotation. The kid that pitched last night in the 9th inning's got a terrific arm. He can close, obviously. But they got to figure out what's up with Jeff Locke. That's a big problem for them. He couldn't hold a 4-run lead tonight. But it is weird to see a team that's so close for a playoff spot trade such an integral part of their bullpen at the deadline rather than acquiring a player of that caliber.
Right. That is weird. But maybe they obviously know something that we don't or nobody else sees. I don't know.
That's
it may not be quite so obvious, except that is it Glasnow? Is that the young pitcher they have that
Glasnow? Yeah.
Glasnow that had to come out of a game with a tender shoulder. They were counting on Tyon, Cole, Glasnow of really being the anchors for the rest of this season and weren't anticipating the injury.
That's off Nicasio's toe, and it's going to trickle into shallow right field, and Peterson's aboard with a base hit.
Well, he stepped, he followed through and put his foot right in the path of that. But unfortunately, the ricochet went the wrong way.
So Jace is aboard. The Braves will try to extend the lead. It's 5-4. Atlanta's out-hit the Pirates 11-4 tonight.
Some pretty good numbers in the Braves lineup against Nicasio, including Freddie Freeman. Be nice to get him up there. He's 6 for 14 with 4 homers off of him.
Nicasio's 29. He'll turn 30 on August 30. Former Rocky and Dodger. He was a starting pitcher with the Rockies up until the 2014 season when he pitched 19 games out of the bullpen. Last year, 53 appearances for the Dodgers, a 1-3 record, a .386 earned run average.
That's a balk. If you watch his front foot, he doesn't get turned. He just kind of spins on his left foot, and that foot's got a step to first. See, he's still facing home plate.
Yeah, kind of the jump spin move. You're not supposed to do that.
So how do 4 sets of eyes miss that? 1 ball, no strikes. Even count. Last year, Nicasio allowed 1 homer in his 58 1/3 innings. The man that hit it was Jeff Francoeur. One ball, 1 strike.
A little more patience here from Gordon after popping up his last time up with runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. He was aggressive, maybe a little overly aggressive on that first pitch from Locke.
That was cut on and missed, and on the follow through, Beckham's bat plunked Fryer on top of the head.
Fortunately, he's okay.
Runner goes, and Beckham skies it out of play. That's above us and to the right. Tyrell Jenkins and Ryan Vogelsong here tomorrow night. When the Braves hit the road. St. Louis, Milwaukee, and Washington. I think the last time we saw the Nationals, Manny Acta was still their manager.
It seems like it.
That was a while ago.
Washington beat up on Arizona 8-3. Boy, the Diamondbacks have had a real rough year with Greinke getting hurt, Shelby Miller getting hurt, demoted. A.J. Pollock hurt the last spring training game. And really struggling at home. Jace runs, pitch driven down the right field line again, and Beckham will get another cut. The starters for the Cardinals beginning Friday night will be Jaime Garcia, Carlos Martinez, and Adam Wainwright. Joel De La Cruz will pitch Friday. Mike Foltynewicz Sunday. The Braves have not announced Saturday's starter yet.
Adam Wainwright pitched well last night, but bullpen couldn't hold the lead. He hit another homer.
Again, the runner goes, and Beckham hits it to left field. It was the shortstop covering. Jace Peterson on his way to third, and the Braves executed that beautifully. And a redeemer for Gordon Beckham. He's aboard with his first hit, and Atlanta's in business. First and third, nobody out.
Hitting all those foul balls to the right side. They decided to come in on him, and he's able to turn on it with the shortstop covering. That was perfect for Jace to just keep running. Chance to add on here.
Garcia has a double in 3 tries. He's also scored a run. That was in the Braves' third. Right back where it came from, a base hit. Garcia with his 34th RBI, and Nicasio served up 3 consecutive singles, and Atlanta's lead now 6-4.
First pitch swinging again. That looks like a little bit of a spinner there. Trying to be a slider, but didn't do much. So Freddie Freeman will hit with runners aboard.
Well, our partner asked, and here's the matchup he wanted to see. Freeman versus Nicasio. Six runs on 13 hits for the Braves. The Pirates have 4 runs on 3 hits. All the runs and 3 of the 4 hits came in the first inning. And in case you wondered, the Braves' season high in hits this year is 19. No balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, that was close. That almost got a writer's computer. I mean, and what would happen if a sports writer's computer went down?
I think Instagram might shut down.
And Twitter.
First, he'd pass out.
No balls, 2 strikes. For Freddie Freeman. Ball in the dirt. And safe. Beckham took a chance and he moved up on a ball at Freddie Freeman's feet.
Well, these swim moves are getting to be pretty popular with the guys going in head first. I think that's what Gordon did to Gong there at third. Good hustle on the ball in the dirt. Read that beautifully. He didn't even get in the dirt. Pulls the left hand back. And then got the hand in there before the tag to the chest. That was terrific.
No challenge. And it's ruled a passed ball.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
So the Braves have him first and third for Freeman. The Pirates infield is going to move in a few steps. Pop fly foul. And a fan from Tolliver, Georgia, came up with that souvenir. I'm not one to complain about time of game. Folks, we've played 2.5 hours and we're not through the 6th inning yet.
But we're winning.
But we are winning.
We do have that going for us tonight. Yep.
However long it takes.
That's been said before when the Pirates have been in this ballpark. And need we go there? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Nicasio gets his first out. And here's Matt Kemp.
Good pitch to hit. It was up.
Yeah, threw him the fastball in the pitch before that might have got him off of that just a little bit.
Strike 1.
Matt's got good numbers against him too. 6 for 18, 3 homers.
Upper deck right side. It's 0-2 for Kemp. And time called. San Diego beat Milwaukee 12-3 tonight. Cubs beat Miami 5-4. Another Marlins bullpen meltdown. A.J. Ramos walked in the tying run and wild pitched the winning run home for the Cubs. 0-2 for Kemp instead to first, and there's that balk looking move that Eddie Perez keeps asking Ted Barrett about.
With that loss tonight and Washington's win, Miami falls 7 back of the Nats. Good pitch, air it out, 95, go up out of the zone, but he might have gone a little too high to get Matt to offer, obviously, but that's a good place to go.
Pitch number 27 for Nicasio. And it's a fly ball to center. Marte has to backpedal. Beckham at third is going to tag, and he's going to score standing up. So Matt Kemp has his first Braves hit. He has his first Braves RBI. It's now 7-4 in the 6th. I don't know, maybe it's just me, and taking nothing away from the Braves comeback. This is a big game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They started great, got 4 quick runs, but now they look like a truck barreling down the highway with 4 flat tires.
A little flat. I agree. And mostly because pitchers have had to work out of the stretch from the 2nd inning on. The only easy inning Locke had was the 1st, and he only had to face 4 batters.
Well, like I say, we've scored every inning but the 1st. We're going on 2.5 hours. We're halfway, not even halfway, hardly halfway through the game, and feels like it's dragging for us. I'm sure it's dragging for them on the field. They got to find a way to recapture some energy.
No balls, 1 strike. Ocasio's trying to give himself a pep talk. 2 runs, 3 hits in the inning, and a lot of pitches. Good night for Nick Markakis, a double, a run, and an RBI. 1-2. Rockies leading the Dodgers. That's a 5-2 score. Boy, the Rockies, keep an eye on them. They're having a great second half.
They moved Descalso to shortstop last night. We'll see if he stays there.
Trevor Story tore the ligament in the thumb. He had surgery. He's probably done for the year.
Did we ever find out how he did it?
I did not. I meant to do that this morning and forgot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But they were able to plug in that kid David Dahl. We didn't see him when the Braves saw the Rockies. He came up from the minor leagues and he's hitting home runs. So they moved Descalso out of left, put Dahl out there, Descalso at short, and the Rockies keep on rolling along. They're at 500. They're only 3.5 out in the wild card. But they have to pass 5 teams, including the Pirates. Way high, full count. Runner goes. Markakis pops it up. And Joyce in left is there, and that retires the side. Add-on innings have been the story for the Braves tonight. 2 more across in the 6th. Braves now lead at 7-4. Time for a Chevrolet game summary. Turnabout is the story in this one.
I'll say Jeff Locke staked to a 4-run lead before he ever took to the mound, couldn't hold it. Matt Joyce, part of that rally in the first inning with a 3-run jack, or if Paul Bird was here, Jimmy Jack. Rob Whalen got off to a horrible start in his major league debut, but you know what? He threw 1-hit shutout ball for 4 innings after that. He's in line for the win. Matt Kemp with his first hit and his first RBI and first run scored for the Braves tonight.
And so the Braves bullpen now watches Mauricio Cabrera stride in to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Buccos here in the 7th. Gregory Polanco, Jung Ho Kong, and Starling Marte are coming up. And that's outside. Ball 1. Tigers won again. They beat the White Sox 2-1. Detroit's won 8 in a row. They're only 3 behind Cleveland at the start of tonight's play. Danny Salazar for the Indians, who is so impressive here in Atlanta, has an elbow problem. They're going to shut him down for a couple of weeks.
Cleveland's getting hammered again tonight by Minnesota.
How about Max Kepler? Hit another homer yesterday. The youngster from West Germany became the 4th twin to hit 4 homers in 2 games. Don Mincher, Harmon Killebrew, and Kirby Puckett are the others.
Pretty good company.
Yes, sir.
Good cut by Polanco. And it's 2-2. That one at 102 miles an hour, and he had it covered. A 101-mile-an-hour fastball is hit on the ground to second, and Polanco's retired to start the inning. Here's Gong. 2 flyouts to center and a double for the Pittsburgh third baseman. He's 3 for 16 against Braves pitching this year, and 2 for 7 in this series.
Cabrera's been a very impressive addition to the bullpen.
Unscored upon in 8 of his last 9 outings, striking out 13 in 11 innings now.
No balls and a strike. And fouled at the plate. Either one of you guys been to South Korea?
No, have not.
Me neither. I'd like to go see a game there, though. I mean, they've had some terrific players come out of that nation. Chan-Ho Park, among others. No balls, 2 strikes. And 1 and 2.
Gong kind of winds up in his swing. You throw it where he's dropping the barrel, you're in trouble. So he turns that hip, lifts his front leg, and winds up.
Strike 3 is the call. Gong is retired. I could say he was rung up, but that's low-hanging fruit. 2 outs. Starling Marte is the batter, and he's our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
We've been talking about what a great player this guy is. 4th in average in multi-hit games, tied for 2nd in stolen bases. Picked up his 37th tonight, so he may have moved into a tie for 1st with BR tonight.
This will be an interesting at bat to see how Marte's wrist feels. He's been hit by a pitch twice. Once on the elbow in the 1st inning, and then on the left wrist in the 5th. I may have my hit batsman mixed up. Marte's been hit on the hand twice. The first one was on the knuckles, not the elbow. Like a glancing blow. Freddie Freeman's the man that got popped on the elbow. Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's headed for the seats past the Braves dugout. 1 and 2.
You know, for a guy as young as Cabrera is, I think he's 22, and as hard as he throws, his command's been really good. 6 walks in 16, 17 innings now. That sounds like a lot, but not for a guy with his inexperience and his power pitching.
Yeah, when he first came up, seemed like he had better command of his breaking stuff than he did his fastball, but lately his fastball has been electric stuff wise and really good location wise.
Yeah, and he's been throwing this changeup, this 92, 93 mile an hour changeup very effectively.
I'm not sure it's even fair to call it that when you throw it that hard.
1 ball, 2 strikes. For Starling Marte, base is empty. And he struck him out. That was filthy. Inner half. Marte couldn't get the barrel to it, and Cabrera strikes out a pair in the top of the 7th inning. The Braves are rolling. They have set down 9 straight Pirates hitters and lead 7-4. Moments in the history of Turner Field. Tonight we're looking back at some of the very memorable baseball debuts in this ballpark. From Brian McCann and Jeff Francoeur in 2005 to Jason Hayward in 2010. Don't forget El Oso Blanco, Evan Gattis in 2013, and most recently Matt Whistler last year. There have been a lot of great big league debuts from some terrific young players here at Turner Field, and here's to 20 years presented by Synovus. And tonight, Rob Whalen's trying to add his name to that lore as he's in line to win his first major league game tonight. He spotted the Pirates' 4 first-inning runs, but the Braves have come charging back. They've scored in every inning, as Tom said, since the first, and lead the game 7-4. Ender Inciarte's had a nice night tonight. 2 hits, a run, an RBI. He will take a 14-game hitting streak into action tomorrow. Anthony Recker's next. He's on deck. And as good a night as Anthony has had, I've been really impressed with the way Recker helped guide Whalen through that first inning and through his 5 tonight. Way inside, 3-1.
Yeah, Anthony's doing a good job on both sides. Swinging the bat well. Good receiver.
Ripped to right field. Another hit for Inciarte. Big turnaround first. He will settle for a long single. And that's how the 7th starts for the Braves. Ender Inciarte, a 3-hit night. And here he comes. His average now over 260 for the season.
And he is turning on the ball here. Fastball down the middle, quick stroke, dropped the barrel on it, and it jumped.
Two hits, 2 RBIs for Anthony Recker. Strike 1. It's 0-2.
Well, the Giants had a 4-0 lead on the Phillies tonight, and now they're in extra innings.
What's up with the Giants? They had a big lead out west. Not anymore. It's 2 games.
Pitching.
I know Bumgarner got rocked and didn't factor in the decision yesterday. So, yeah, I guess you're right. That was.
Peavy is trying to pick up a little of the slack. Matt Cain is not the same guy. They're scuffling for some consistency in their rotation.
Told they have the worst starters ERA in baseball since the break.
That'll get you struggling.
Say that's the answer, isn't it? 1 ball, 2 strikes. And and Recker didn't get that pitch at 95 miles an hour. 1 on, 1 out for Eric Ibar, who's had a good night. And Eric Ibar has been doing good work at home, as you see on our Lowe's home field advantage.
Last 21 home games. Look at that, a .352 average. Big on base percentage, 16 out of 21 games. And he's hit in 9 straight. There he is. That's the guy I was telling you about.
He's here.
That's a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Texas lost tonight. Baltimore beat them 3-2. Houston's struggling to take advantage, though. Toronto leads them 3-1. That's in the 7th.
You know what's funny to me? Our games right after the trading deadline. Texas made all the moves they've made. They're 0-2, and everybody in Texas is probably screaming bloody murder. Oh boy, well, we made great deals, didn't we?
We broke up a good thing. There's a shot toward the gap. That's going to get down. That's going to roll to the track and wall. Here comes INCIARTE around third. He's going to score, and Ibar has a stand-up triple.
Stay hot, Eric. A lot of fastballs just sitting from Nicasio. It worked on Recker, it didn't work on Ibar. Nor INCIARTE, who led off with a single. This is Gapperville out there. No chance for Polanco to cut it off.
Eight unanswered runs for the Braves on 15 hits. And after the first inning, Atlanta has out-hit the Pirates 15-1. Amazing. Brandon Snyder's the pinch hitter. Infield in, and he drives 1 foul. Brandon's still looking, I believe, for that ever-elusive first single. 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers, but he hasn't stopped at first yet. And that, folks, was the 261st pitch of this game. And we're in the 7th.
We're going to fly by the 300 pitch mark.
We're a tick or 2 away from 3 hours. Swing and a miss by Snyder, and Nicasio has his 3rd punch out of the ball game, and we go back to the top and Gordon Beckham. Gordon's 1 for 4. He singled and scored an inning ago. Rob Whalen trying to win his major league debut.
Yeah, they join only 3 other guys in the history of Turner Field.
And after the first inning, I think a lot of folks would have said, ain't happening tonight.
No chance.
Oh, ye of little faith. That's a couple runs in the first inning. Big deal.
Yeah.
But you guys were right. If you give up 4, don't give up 5. And it's exactly what Whalen did. Pittsburgh had 1 hit and 4 base runners over his last 4 innings of work. And Beckham swings and misses to retire the side. Nicasio struck out the side in the 7th, but the Braves add another run on an Eric Ibar triple.
As we head to the 8th inning, and it's time for your Xfinity game break. We'll take you out to Wrigley for some afternoon baseball. The Cubs hosting the Miami Marlins, and Miami clinging on to that wild card spot. Bottom of the 9th, tied ball game, bases loaded, 2 outs, and a wild pitch by A.J. Ramos would score Matt Caesar to walk off at the winning run. Chicago would score 3 runs in the 9th inning to win 5-4, and they sweep the Marlins in the time that the Marlins need these wins the most.
Cubs got a couple of those type wins on their homestand, and that's a devastating loss for the Marlins, who had their 2 main guys at the end of the game. Fernando Rodney gave up a run. Ramos, who had his long save streak broken by the Braves earlier this year. Well, with that loss, Miami now falls behind St. Louis. They would be out of the playoffs were they to start today. The Mets 2 back, Pittsburgh 2.5 back, Colorado 3.5 out and surging.
Can I just say that I don't know how you miss that badly with a fastball at the big league level. I don't know how you do that.
That wasn't even in the left-handed batter's box, was it?
That's Bull Durham. That's hitting the bull.
Yeah, it was.
So the Marlins limp on as the Cubs beat them today. Meanwhile, Chris Withrow's on to pitch. He's got Matt Joyce, David Freese, and Jordy Mercer coming up. The Pirates do not have a hit since the 2nd inning of this game.
This has been a pretty good combination for Brian Snitker when the Braves have the lead, and that's Cabrera in the 7th, Withrow in the 8th, Johnson in the 9th.
High pop up into center field. Ender Inciarte is there. And there's out number 1. Grammy-nominated singer Tori Kelly will be at Turner Field Saturday, August 20th for a free post-game concert, part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Field passes are also on sale for just $20. Go to Braves.com/Tori Kelly today. Ouch. That would knock the mask right off Anthony Recker. Strike one.
Man, oh man. The shock of that. I guess you get used to it as a catcher.
To right. Nick retreats shy of the track. Freeze is out number 2.
Chris Withrow had a good month in July. 10 innings pitched, a 1.80 ERA. And in those 10 innings, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts.
Ball 1 for Mercer. Quiet night for the Pittsburgh shortstop. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He did make a nice play in the 3rd inning, though, to rob Nick Markakis of a run-scoring hit. Chop towards short. Ibar's got it. Ball stayed down. Tough play, and Freeman with a stretch. 3 out, 3 down for Withrow in inning number 8. It's 8-4 Atlanta in game 2. For Atlanta, as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, time for our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Let's take a peek at what's been happening for the Braves down at AAA with Aaron Blair and Matt Whistler.
Last 3 starts for Aaron have been good ones. 19 strikeouts in 20 innings, and he's kept the ball in the ballpark. Matt Whistler last night, 8 strong innings as well with no walks.
So let's check in again with Kelsey. You have more information on Matt Whistler's performance last night.
Yeah, I was able to talk to him earlier, and I asked him, you know, how did you feel after that start? He said he felt good. He got into a nice rhythm. But the most important part is that he said he threw without overthinking, which he hasn't done in a while, and he thought that went well, and it was a good step to build off of. I asked him, is there anything in particular you worked on? He said his fastball command, he was really working in and out on both righties and lefties, working on his changeup and slider from the stretch. And he said he was happy how he improved as the game went on. His stretch got better as well. And he says still plenty to work on, but definitely a step in the right direction for him.
Tommy, I know you like Matt Whistler's stuff a lot.
I like his stuff a lot, and I like the first thing that Kelsey said that he's got to go out there and quit thinking so much.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you, particularly when things aren't going well, you overanalyze, you think about every pitch, you think about mechanics, you're trying not to make mistakes. And you know, I've always said it, the best games I ever pitch, I don't think a whole lot. It's just give me the ball and let me make a pitch. When you're thinking about what you're trying to do, it makes it awful tough.
This is Archimedes Caminero for Pittsburgh.
He can hit triple digits at times.
Hey, nice grab.
I mean, timed his jump perfectly.
Kid with the glove right behind him's not happy though.
Wait a minute, the ball boy's a first baseman. He's got his first baseman's mitt. He stretched out, made the play.
No, he made a super play. I'm just saying that kid behind him that had the glove that had it all set up. He's not real happy. That guy.
Yeah,
he's not happy.
But you know what? The ball boy's no dummy. Because I think he handed the ball to one of those pretty girls in the front row.
Of course he did. You're absolutely right.
I don't think it was to this one though. This one's already hit the sack tonight. She's sound asleep.
Pirate fan, I think. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Adonis Garcia, and that's taken low at 101 miles an hour. Caminero led all National League rookie relievers in appearances and strikeouts last year. 73 strikeouts and 74 2/3 innings. He won 5 games. He was originally signed as an international free agent when he was 17 by the Marlins. He pitched 3 years in the Dominican Summer League, got to the Gulf Coast League in 2008, got to AA in 2008. Ground ball to short. Mercer surrounds, double clutches, and makes a strong throw. And then got to AAA in the big leagues in 2013. First 20,000 fans here on Thursday, August 18th. Get the one-of-a-kind Andrew Jones, the catch. Bobblehead, don't want to miss it. Hope you'll catch the Braves here at Turner Field on August the 18th. Good seats are available. The Washington Nationals will be the Braves' opponent.
Wonder if Andrew will be here tomorrow night. Take down number 25.
By the way, I still think you have the longest half inning before the number teardown this year. Remember?
Oh my goodness, I was out there forever.
Yeah, you were.
You had instructions given to you 3 or 4 times.
I did. They were not going to let me go out there unprepared.
It was very professional. Despite the nap you had to take down there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Shift on for Freeman, who takes outside, ball 2. Cardinals beat the Reds 5-4 tonight. Rockies 9-2 now over the Dodgers. That's in the 6th at Coors Field. Game's not over by a long shot, though. You know how quickly an offense can get back in Denver. They're in the 11th. Giants 4, Phillies 4.
Don't like to play sudden death at Coors Field, Citizens Bank Park, or at Great American Ballpark. That home field advantage really comes into play then.
Another chance for the ball boy to make a friend. Let's see what happens. Let's see.
Oh, that woke him up. Oh, hey.
What was that?
Yeah, she didn't get the ball. She's going to pour water on him.
3-2. And Freddie didn't get that. So Caminero has his first strikeout. Freeman's down on strikes for the second straight at bat. And that'll bring up Matt Kemp, who's had a good night. First Braves hit, first Braves run, first Braves RBI tonight.
'70th RBI.
That's headed to the right side foul, and that's down 0-2. Well, plenty to talk about after this one on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Rob Whalen, the starter. Let's not overlook this Braves offense, an offense which has struggled to score runs most of the year. They chipped away against Jeff Locke starting in the second. They've scored in every inning since, with the exception of the 8th inning. And they've wrapped out 8 runs, 15 hits. 15 hits, 4 shy of their single game high this year. Fly ball center and playable for Starling Marte, who has room, and that retires the side. Caminero gets the Braves in order. 1-2-3. We go to the 9th inning.
Is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers, Let's Go Places, the Georgia Lottery, and Zaxby's Indescribably Good.
3 more outs to get. Rob Whalen's in the history books with his first major league win. This week during Braves Live, we're debating the pros and cons of youth baseball travel leagues, and on Sunday we'll take an even deeper look at travel baseball with Driven Travel Baseball Chasing the Dream, premiering Sunday at 5:30 Eastern with an encore presentation at 10, only on Fox Sports South and streaming on Fox Sports Go. It's presented by Toyota. The Chief is in. Jim Johnson, the reigning National League Player of the Week.
Went 4 for 4 in saves. How about that opponent's batting average? .083. That's about what the Pirates are hitting since the first inning. You mentioned that 1 hit since the first inning, Chip, and that was in the second inning. So they haven't had a hit since the second.
8-4 Atlanta. The Pirates are not going to play Andrew McCutchen. Don't know how available Josh Harrison is after his collision against the Brewers on Sunday. Jeff Locke did not have a good game tonight. That is a huge concern for the Pirates, who shook up their rotation and their bullpen at the deadline. And after they jumped out 4-0 in the first inning, this would be a bad loss.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah, they got a gift from the Marlins today and can't capitalize on that.
You would never get the Pirates to admit it, but you got to figure that when they looked at the schedule and saw the team with the worst record in the National League, that would be a good time for McCutchen to sit. And with this win tonight for the Braves with 3 more outs and another game to play tomorrow, that begin to scratch their head a little bit about whether or not they should have done it. But the only results they're going to see, the only answer they're going to get to that, is how McCutchen plays when he comes back. If he plays like he's supposed to, then they'll feel like they did the right thing.
And you look at their schedule, the Pirates have series left with the Reds, the Padres, lots of games with Milwaukee, the Phillies. This one's hit out of play. They've got to play the Dodgers and Giants, the Marlins. But their final week and a half ain't going to be easy. They finish up at home with Washington and the Cubs, and their final 3 games are against the Cardinals in St. Louis.
That's tough.
So if Pittsburgh wants to make a playoff push, they'd better have pretty firm grasp of something, I would imagine, by September 2021. And the reason I say that, they got to go to Milwaukee one more time. And if you talk about a place that's been a house of horrors for them, Brewers have won 17 of 81 games played at Miller Park. Or is it the Pirates, excuse me, have won 17 of 81 games played against the Brewers on the road. As this one's popped up by Fryer, he's out number 1. "12 straight, make it 13 straight, have been set down by the Braves staff. And Sean Rodriguez is going to come on and hit.
It has been rare this year that the Braves have given up a big inning and have been able to wipe it out, let alone win the game. But it goes to that old cliche, I guess, that we talk about, where you say all the time, hold them right there. Hold them right there and give the offense a chance to catch up. And that's what Whalen and the bullpen did.
You're exactly right. This is the 63rd game this year where the Braves opponent scored the first run in the game. The Braves have won 15 of them. They scored in every inning except the first and the 8th tonight. And that's a little low. 2-2. Tyrell Jenkins, Ryan Vogelsong. Swing and a miss. Rodriguez is retired. 2 out. 9th spot on the lineup card for the Pirates has 4 strikeouts. And we go back to the top, and Adam Frazier. As hot a night as he had last night, he's been cooled in game 2. He's 0 for 4 batting first. 2 flyouts, a strikeout, and a comebacker.
For Ryan Vogelsong, tomorrow it's his first appearance since May 24th when he was hit in the face with that pitch by Jordan Lyles.
One ball, one strike. Yeah, that was a very scary situation, quite obviously, for Vogelsong, who feared that he was going to not only have his career end, but he would lose an eye. And thankfully, neither of those things took place. Ripped foul left side. And if memory serves, Vogelsong's a guy that's really had to scratch and claw and scrape and span the corners of the globe to keep his pitching dream alive. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. As we wrap up the homestand, Johnson's ready to wrap up this game. Pittsburgh down to the last strike. And it's over. Braves came back in very impressive fashion. 8-4 is the final. 8 unanswered runs. Matt Kemp's first hit, first run, first RBI. And on this night of firsts, Rob Whalen, in his first big league game, picks up his first major league victory. Atlanta's even up the series. They'll go for a series victory here tomorrow night as Brian Snitker and the Bravos all smiles at Turner Field.